a project called Color Wheel Eyes that normally takes me about 5 one-hour classes with my middle schoolers. The main art skill that we're going to be learning with this project is the color wheel itself. Of course, we're going to try and draw the eye. We're going to learn about the parts of the eye. We're going to make sure that it looks the way that it should. But the most important thing is that we learn that color wheel and how it makes sense what order it's in. You got to make sure you get it in the right order because it doesn't go red, then green, then purple. No, it goes red, then orange, then yellow, because red and yellow make the color in between them. It's designed that way for a reason, and that's an important thing for you to learn. The art exemplar I'm going to show you is just a bunch of people who have already finished this project before. I've done this for a lot of years. Kids really like drawing the eye. I really like when kids learn about the proper order of the color wheel, and I really don't mind if we meet in the middle and do something that everybody enjoys. I actually think it's a great project. I'll probably do it until I die at my desk someday. Steps of the project are simple. You're going to draw an eye. So the way that we do that is normally I start with the exterior eye shape. Then I add in a circle that's too big to fit in that eye, and I erase out the extra. Add a pupil in the middle. And as far as the simplest version of an eye can possibly be, that is right. But then we can go from there. We can add in textures. It almost looks like wrapped thread running through everyone's iris that we'll later color over top of. We can add shading around the eyelids. We can add highlights around the edges of where the skin pops out. We can add shading around the corners of the eyeball because it is a whole sphere inside your head. You really can shade it like that. It's like you have a sphere inside of your head that's having the light blocked around it by a lot of stuff. So there's around the edges of your eye, there's shading. So after you've sketched your eye, you're going to practice the color wheel. I have one hanging in the room. You'll have plenty of them up on any resource place that you have in my classroom, and you want to copy it. We do not have all the colors and colored pencils that you need for that. So what you have to do is you have to blend colors. We might have a yellow-green. We might have a red-purple. We might not have a blue-purple. We might not have a bluish-green. You might have to lay that blue down and color green over top of it until you like the way that they blended, and pay attention to the way that the color looks. You don't want to use 99% blue and a little bit of green and have it just look like you have two blue spaces right next to each other. You want it to look like the colors are moving around the way that they're supposed to as they go around the eye. And once you've practiced that, I'm going to give you final paper, and then you get about 3 days on a very large piece of paper to make your eye, ink your eye, and then I will let you use watercolor to color your eye, assuming that your class hasn't had any sort of behavioral problems and lost that right. All right, by the time you're done, we will have spent 5 days, maybe 6 if you need an extension. I'll give it to you. Working on these color wheel eyes for a giant display that we're going to put out in the hallway. It should be black and white and shaded all around, and then fully colored in the color wheel. If you want to put color in the rest of the drawing, that is up to you, but I'll ask that you don't make them as bright and saturated as the colors in the color wheel, because we really want that to pop out. Now, if you want to level your project up to the hashtag Art Squad level, then I would suggest that you pick an animal's eye rather than a human's eye and try and copy the textures not only in their eye, but on whatever kind of skin or fur or, I don't know, scales that they have.